What's good, Cosmo Collective? Welcome back to Eternity Tarot. I'm Eternity, and if it's your first time here, welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you're returning, thanks so much for being a part of the Cosmo Collective, babes. It's Future Spouse Fridays, so you know what that means. In today's reading, we'll be exploring what your path to union or marriage looks like. I'm so excited. Over the course of this entire month, every single Friday, we've been uncovering different elements of your future spouse or long-term partner. So we're finally stepping into what your path and your journey to union or marriage looks like with them. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. As you know, this is a timeless reading, so whenever you're finding it, even if you're not experiencing it on Future Spouse Fridays with us, I hope the messages resonate and the video is meant for you. As always, this is a collective reading, so take what resonates and leave what doesn't resonate for you behind for someone else. If you just want to go ahead and get into your reading, the timestamps are going to be down below as always. And for those of you who want to get into the pile selection, let's do it. If you chose the card in the thumbnail with the purple border or the sun card, pile 1 is your reading. If you chose the card in the thumbnail with the orange border or the Hierophant card, pile 2 is your reading. If you chose the card in the thumbnail with the pink border or the Magician, pile 3 is your reading. Now that you've selected the pile that resonates the most with you, I'll meet you at your reading. Pile 1, if you chose the card in the thumbnail with the purple border or the sun card, this is your reading on what your path to union or marriage looks like. Let's get into it. Spirit, what does pile 1's path to union or marriage look like with their future spouse or long-term partner? Already, we have the 8 of Cups upright. What is pile 1's path to union or marriage with their future spouse? I'm not going to take that one, Spirit. Look like. What does their path to marriage look like? What journey will they take down the aisle to their future spouse? Strength. Okay, already, pile 1, we're getting an overwhelming message of resilience. I'm getting the impression that it's a bit of a long journey for you. You can see with the 8 of Cups, she's walking away from something that doesn't serve her, and literally the angel, Archangel Raphael, is guiding her to go on this journey. So Spirit is already telling me with the 8 of Cups and the Strength card, which the Strength card can be about many things. Inner strength, resilience, obviously. It can also be about a journey of forgiveness. Maybe some of you have someone who you broke up with in the past because of their misgivings or their misbehavior within the relationship, and perhaps you've let them go, but your journey will wind back towards one another, which is why Spirit could be saying that it's a long journey. And then also the Strength card can represent beauty and the beast, which is balancing the dark and the light within us, balancing the beauty and the beast within ourselves. Let's keep pulling for you, pile 1. What is pile 1's journey, their path? Oh my goodness, do you guys see all of those freaking major arcana cards that came out? I'm not going to take, actually Spirit said to take the Magician, so I'm going to take that one. What does pile 1's path to union or marriage look like? Jeez Louise. Okay, the major arcanas are really coming out. So it's a journey. I am getting that you have a long winding road. That's what Spirit says. And it's a journey through a lot of major energies, which we can see with the Strength card and the Magician. And now we have the Devil as well. What does pile 1's path to union or marriage look like? What does their path look like? What does their path to union and marriage look like for them, Spirit? My goodness. We've got the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So there's going to be a lack of material stability within this journey. Oh, okay. One of you or a few of you might be walking away from previous partners who have money but aren't very loving. Or, you know, I'm getting the movie Materialist. Oh my goodness. Or I'm getting the movie Materialist. Some of you might be choosing love over money. Let's take the rest of the cards. What does pile one's path to union or marriage look like? Okay, we've got a twofer. So it is going to be passionate, and it's going to be a very balanced, like both of you feel it, mutual exchange of romantic energy, because we have the Ace of Wands and the Two of Cups, which came out together. So it's really going to feel like, I know it sounds silly to say this because obviously you two found each other. That's the whole point of the path to union or marriage. But I'm getting that you've got this long winding road where you're working on yourself, you're building your inner resilience and strength. Maybe you left a relationship or a job, like a career path or something that was very lucrative for you, but it wasn't good for your confidence or your work-life balance, and it slowly chipped and chipped away at you, and it was toxic. And at some point you had to muster up the courage to maybe walk away from that, which is where we see this magician energy coming in. And it's so interesting that we have the strength card and then we have the magician and the devil, because what I'm seeing is that balance between not quite dark and light, but more so striking a balance. Come on, Spirit, you just said it. Striking a balance between manifesting things and manipulating circumstances, because the magician is the ultimate manifester. The magician creates from nothing, as we know, but that means the magician's core, like foundational skill set is to manipulate the elements, meaning he took the pentacles, the cups, the wands and the swords, and he combined them all together, alchemized them in order to create everything that he could possibly want. But also in a certain way, this is an abomination. That's what the Spirit just said. It's a contortion. And the entirety of alchemy is something that is, on one hand, the most natural thing we can do as divine co-creators of our own reality, but it's also, in a sense, the most unnatural thing we can do to the environment. And this is not something that is either good or bad unless it's in the wrong hands, right? Unless you have your devil running the show, your shadow side running the show, that can inhibit us. And that can also be something, a reason that this journey is inhibited and taking a long time. Maybe because you're trying to create, you're constantly having the spark of, okay, I need to leave behind what's toxic to me, what's chipping away at my self-worth and my inner confidence. I know I need to leave it, and yet you keep engaging with it somehow. For instance, if it's a toxic dynamic between you and another person, or you keep saying to yourself within your career that, oh, I would leave, but they keep offering me more money, or they pay me so well, or I'm never going to find a job that pays as well as this one. And it's so funny because we have these limiting beliefs that are keeping you caged, but you're the magician, babes. Like, where does a magician say, oh, where does a master manifester say, I'm never going to find another job that will pay me more money? Maybe it's a romantic partnership. I'm never going to find someone who loves me as much as this. What? Like, that don't even make sense. So Spirit is also calling you to choose between your beauty and your beast, because Spirit is saying you got the game fucked up. Are you the magician or are you the devil? You need to figure out a way to only operate and exist in one. And the crazy thing is, once you balance that, that's when your bookie butt shows up. That's when stink stink shows up. That's when not only do they show up passionately in a way that can't be ignored. So I am getting that this future spouse or long-term partner or person that you're aligning with, this soulmate, is, well, there's just no other way to put it. You excite them. You know, the Ace of Wands in the typical Rider-Waite tarot is a hand holding a giant wand. So I'm getting that your journey to each other might start with a little hookup action, or, well, I can't say the rest on YouTube, but let's just say it's spicy, it's heated, but also there's something more to it. And maybe you weren't looking for it because you were so focused on like your stability in this path and trying to figure out whether you should stay or go. Maybe you weren't looking for it. And then finally, when you decided, I'm not going to act from my lower nature anymore, I'm going to honor myself from my higher nature, it shows up immediately. And it's like, Spirit just said, with this one, Spirit just said, oh, hey, big sexy, like this person is your type. They're undeniably the one. They're unmistakable in like how perfectly suited they are for you. Let's get the rest of the cards. Pile One's path to union and marriage. What does it look like, Spirit? What does Pile One's path to union or marriage look like, Spirit? Oh, that card said, pick me. Oh, brokey. I can't talk to brokies. Maybe you're someone who lives in Atlanta, or you like Lotto or something like that. I'm definitely getting like a southern kind of vibe. Maybe also you're someone who was like outside during the bling bling era of hip hop. Like you might be in your late 40s, early 50s or something like that. Like big fan of Lil Wayne, the Hot Boys, Young Jeezy. I don't know. That's not going to resonate for all of you, but I'm getting like you are someone that values money, material. I'm just going to be honest, you know, I'm not going to lie to you, Pal One. And Spirit is saying maybe, oh no. Spirit is saying, you know, maybe Two of Cups Bay is compensating for something with this Ace of Wands. Maybe they haven't perfectly mastered financial stability just yet. It could also be that it's you who is out in the cold or something like that. But I'm getting in this winding road, you're going on this journey of self-mastery. It's long, it's arduous, it's a little annoying, and you find your person, but your material world is a little out of whack. I'm actually going to zoom out on this camera a little bit. It's bothering me. Or we could do that. No. Okay, we'll stick with that. Let's get another card for you, and then we'll take that bottom of the deck. What does Pile One's path to union or marriage look like? Page of Swords. So also, this is another confirmation, like, this might also be for a 90s baby, and I'm going to explain why to you. So the bottom of the deck is the Eight of Wands, which means things move fast, but it also can speak to chaos. So with this Page of Swords card, I said I might have a 90s baby here Because if you were around, oh my goodness, I totally aged you guys so wrong. If you were outside enjoying the bling bling era of hip hop, you were probably a 90s baby, because the bling bling era of hip hop was like the 2000s. So this is probably going to resonate for someone born in the 90s, maybe late 80s. And I'm saying that because if you ever saw the show A Different World, as soon as that Page of Swords came out, Spirit gave me the famous quote from Whitley Gilbert in the show, which I love Whitley. And her future husband, oh my goodness, this is exactly your journey. Okay, so Spirit is saying your path to union or marriage is going to look kind of like Whitley and Dwayne. And if you don't know those characters from a show, from the show A Different World, you should like watch a YouTube video about Whitley and Dwayne's journey together, because it is a long, unexpected journey. Both of them have to master different things within themselves, and Whitley specifically is someone who values material stuff. Like, she's a former rich girl, but she literally ends up telling Dwayne, which when they started, he was a person she would never, ever date at all. And to be fair, he looked dorky. He had to have his 90s sitcom glow up a couple seasons in. But she would never date someone like that. And by the end of their journey together, she literally says to him, you taught me how to love. And you taught me basically like I could stand up on my own. I don't just need money. He taught her to rely on herself and her inner resources, and not just to, it's not that he taught her not to value money in the material, but he saw her outside of that. Whereas her family, her parents, everyone in every environment she'd ever been around had only valued her because she was beautiful and rich. And so he really widened the scope. And it's so interesting that we have this passionate, undeniable encounter, because within their relationship, the pivotal moment is an unexpected, passionate, undeniable encounter. But then they literally both put each other out in the cold, and they're like, nah, it didn't happen. We're going to forget that. And I haven't even gotten to the part of the Page of Swords here, which one of the famous quotes from that TV couple is that Dwayne asks Whitley what she wants in a husband. And she asked him, what do you think? And he said, rich. And she said, oh, I'm going to butcher it. She would like a man who's ambitious, enterprising, and I can't remember. Let me remember it. One second. Okay, y'all, I can't pull the quote up right now. But go and look that up. She said, I would like a man who's ambitious, enterprising in something else. And he said, so you wouldn't mind if he was broke, if he was poor. And she said, that kind of man is never poor. Now, if you're not someone who's a woman looking for a man, maybe it's the opposite, maybe you're genderqueer, don't mind the genders, just apply it how it fits. But I am getting so far that this is an amazingly beautiful journey, because you two are going to teach each other so much. And that teaching each other so much doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be on this journey together the whole time. I'm getting that with your path to union or marriage, Pile 1, you and your partner are kind of orbiting each other for a certain point in your life. Maybe like them, you'll be college sweethearts, something like that. Or maybe you meet in a certain career, but I'm getting that you two are orbiting each other enough to be around each other and to be sort of intrigued with each other. But Spirit is saying it's divinely timed, and you two will only come together, not just for this passionate encounter, but truly come together when you both have mastered your own separate lessons. And one of the lessons you have to master, Pal One, is pride. They specifically told me you might be too prideful right now. And it's funny because they're saying, prideful and nothing to show for it. What they mean by that is you might be prideful because of what you have achieved on a superficial level, but you're not cultivating your soul. And they're also saying you might have some toxic traits you have to learn to balance out and to temper within yourself just to be able to accept a true resonant love, just to be able to even see Two of Cups for what it really is beyond a passionate encounter. Otherwise, you guys are going to stay in this moment when you're out in the cold with each other. But then eventually, oh my goodness, I love Spirit's intention sometime, because why would Spirit give us the one card in the deck where you both are having this Page of Swords? You're kind of assessing the situation, and what's happening? That cold is thawing. Okay, Spirit is saying you two can't stay away from each other for too long. Let's take some more tarot cards for you, Pal One. Ooh, this is beautiful. You have to know, Pal One, Whitley and Dwayne, probably one of my favorite TV couples. I mean, if you've seen Insecure, I also really love Issa and Lawrence's journey, even though I know that's an unpopular opinion sometimes amongst my kin. But yeah, Whitley and Dwayne's journey just has such a special place in my heart, because I think, I don't know what the other piles will have in store, but Whitley and Dwayne's journey is such a realistic journey that I think mirrors many actual real ways people meet their future spouse. And one of the things I was going to say actually is recently, literally within the past week, someone or something that I was reading was talking about how they were like constantly orbiting their future spouse, just like there was sort of that red string of fate. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that. They were in the same environments, or they would be in the same friend circles, but they just never clicked. And then one day they found each other and it all clicked and it was all perfect, and they basically became inseparable. And what I mean by perfect, Pal One, is not that everything worked out magically and it was easy or anything like that. But what I mean is it had a sense of true knowing that this was the person. Again, undeniable. I did forget to take the bottom of the deck, so when I take these extra cards for more of your guys' story in your path to union and marriage, I will take the bottom of the deck for you, Pal One. All right, Spirit, give us more of the love story. Give us more about what the path to union or marriage looks like. And also, if you want to give us some timeline estimates, I know the people love a good timeline. Oh my goodness, not snuffing out my candle, Spirit. Hold on, let me relight. Jeez. Okay, so already we got the Fool. Tell us more about Pal One's journey to union and marriage. What does the path look like? Not going to take those. Come on. Messages for Pal One. What does the path to union and marriage look like for Pal One? That one came out sideways. You want to be up or down? They said sideways. They said I said what I said. What does Pal One's path to union or marriage look like? Thank you, Spirit. My goodness, Hangman in reverse. We outside. That's what I heard. That's crazy. Clarify the Fool, please, Spirit. Not the clarification, just came right out like butter. My goodness, Pal One. Again, see, your journey covers a lot of major arcana energy. So what I'm getting is that Spirit is showing me the milestones with these major arcanas, meaning it's interesting. So Spirit is literally laying out the path. So what I would do if I was you, Pal One, is I would look at every single major arcana in chronological order, and Spirit is saying, when you reach this point energetically, when you reach this point energetically, and I would say that the last major arcana, I'm not sure if more will come out, the last major arcana Spirit shows that is going to be the last major energy that you have to master on your path to union and marriage in order to cross the threshold. Clarify the Eight of Swords sideways, please, Spirit. Spirit just told me with that Eight of Swords sideways. Excuse me, Pile One, for my talking. I don't know why, but I feel like I'm talking kind of funny with y'all. Spirit told me you're going to be juggling, not limiting self-beliefs all the time, but they told me specifically you're going to doubt whether you deserve this person or not. And that's why they showed this card sideways. They're like, it's not fully like complete self-sabotage, limiting self-beliefs or anything like that, but whether they deserve this person or not is going to trip them up. Clarify the Eight of Swords sideways, please, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Ace of Wands. But Spirit's saying you can trust it. You can trust it and move forward with passion because it's an opportunity for you. And someone, oh my goodness, it was Dochi. I was watching one of Dochi's old YouTube videos and she was talking about God. Don't get attached to that word. If you don't believe in God, that's okay. This is a safe space for all beliefs. I'm not trying to convince you to believe in God. I use words like God, source, universe, spirit interchangeably on this channel. Either way, Dochi said, we often forget that it's, I hope I don't butcher this. To accept God's blessings is a form of veneration too. Meaning, when we accept the blessings that the universe bestows onto us, that too is showing and expressing gratitude for how the universe takes care of us and minds our lives and its intentionality for us. Clarify the Hangman reversed. I'm not going to take all of those, Spirit. Come on. You know I'm not going to take all of them. Clarify the Hangman reverse. Okay, damn. Did y'all see that fly out? Flew. Four of Cups, upright. And let's get that bottom of the deck for you. Yeah. Queen of Wands, upright. Okay, so we already heard with that that Hanged Man reverse, I'm outside. So Spirit is saying you're also probably going to find this person or that orbiting of each other, right, is really what's more aligned with your story. Spirit is going to say because you are unsure whether you deserve this person or not, you're going to be trying to live it up in your single era because, you know, you have this little doubt or whatever that they can't really love me because I can't show my real self to them, or if they knew everything about me, they wouldn't be in love with me anymore. And it's this lack mindset again. And so you're kind of ducking and dodging them, Pile One. You kind of ducking them, and you're more focused on more focused on playing with, how do I want to say it? I'm not very eloquent today. My apologies. The only way Spirit is telling me is like God's toys, but that's not quite true because God is bringing you something. We literally see the Archangel bringing something, and this girl is so focused on just like playing with these other seashells, but Spirit is like, no, this is your special seashell. But you over here like, I'm outside, I'm not stagnant, I'm moving. And the crazy thing is the Hanged Man in this deck is referred to as perspective. So you're refusing this perspective. You're refusing to sort of accept this gift from the universe because of what we see here. And it's interesting because we have this opposition with these cards. We have this part of you that is outside, focused on other people, kind of dating casually, nothing serious, and refusing to see the person that you already know because you had that Ace of Wands, Two of Cups moment. You know in your heart of hearts something is real there. You're refusing to take that leap of faith and do yourself justice. But Spirit's saying, it's all going to come out in the wash. What did I tell you? Go in chronological order. In the last major arcana card that comes out, that's going to be the last little energetic hurdle that you have to get over. And what that is doing yourself justice, doing the other person, your future spouse justice, and doing the situation justice, and doing the universe justice. Meaning the universe is going to balance itself out no matter what. And Spirit is giving you this gift directly. So Spirit is like, I'll be damned if you don't pick my seashell. You gonna pick my seashell. They're like, we'll take away all the other seashells just so this will be the only seashell you see if we have to. And they don't want to do that, but they're saying, no matter what, justice will come. So you'll know that you're going to finally align on your path to union and marriage with this person if you have someone who fits that bill, pile one. And also when it seems like the universe is just orchestrating, like, damn, I was not trying to, for some reason Spirit said Tyreek. I don't know if that's confirmation for someone, but if you like, damn, I'm not trying to date him, or I like him, he's cute, but oh my goodness, and why Spirit using gender too? Maybe that is a message for someone. You ducking endogenous, Spirit is saying you can run but you can't hide. Pile one, let's get some oracle cards for you. This was a very interesting perspective on what your path to union or marriage looks like with your future spouse or long-term partner. Now let's get Spirit's advice and guidance on the subject. Advice and guidance for pile one on their path to union or marriage. Crush. Oh my goodness. Spirit literally said, it's just a little baby crush. Go listen to Little Baby Crush by Jordan Ward. And I love this card because Spirit is, I'm already hearing messages. Spirit is inviting you to enjoy the little feelings, but also Spirit is like, honor that crush. Like, it's okay to give it more weight. More messages for pile one, please, Spirit, on their path to union and marriage with their future spouse and long-term partner. That's the one. The cycle ends here. Spirit just said, quit playing. Oh my God, please tell me you don't marry one of these where my hug at people. Okay, in that case, I understand why you've been ducking and dodging them. Advice and guidance for pile three. No, Spirit said that was a joke. And the cycle that ends here is this, that one little limiting self-belief that still remains with regards to this person not being able to love you and you not being good enough for them. And we have molt. All right, let's talk about it. What is giving you big hard eyes right now? A crush does not always have to be a romantic desire or even a person. You can have a crush on a song, a place, a work of art, a movement, a flower, the ocean, a vision of new possibilities. You can have an all encompassing crush on yourself, your friends, the universe. It is okay to indulge in ooey gooey feelings that make your heart squishy soft like cookie dough. Have a crush on the universe, and the universe will most definitely crush on you too. So, to me, this card is indicative of that journey we just saw, where it's like, oh, don't worry, the new beginning is coming, and that new beginning is clarified by justice. It's all going to come out in the wash. It's all going to align in divine timing, even if you're someone who is engaging with the world. Spirit is actually saying you might think it wasn't our intention for you to be in your single era and just enjoying. Why did Spirit say it's 7 p.m. Friday? It's 95 degrees. I can't go there. That might be a sign of confirmation for someone though, because I believe that song did come up in the last reading, which was about doing shadow work. So maybe go check that out. If you saw it and it felt like there was a message there for you. This is saying, yeah, you're in your single era, but while you're doing that, they're working behind the scenes. And actually, you don't know it, but your single era has this energy of you crushing on everything and being so in love and romanticizing life that it's what actually attracts your future spouse or long-term partner to your path, which is beautiful. And the next card we have is the cycle ends here. Some patterns and cycles of behavior and thought and worldviews passed down from generation to generation can end with you right here in this lifetime. What harmful narratives and toxic worldviews end here with you? And then, what new cycles begin with you and will reverberate into the future for many generations to come? Let your imagination and joy guide you away from old narratives and toward expansive ones that move toward healing, liberation, and joy. So that card, as I already stated, is speaking to that final, like, core limiting belief that is the last roadblock that you have to get over before you can finally be on your path to union or marriage with your future spouse. But also, Spirit is saying this in and of itself is breaking a generational curse. Maybe you come from a family that doesn't value or hasn't had much representation in what's it called? Homes, married homes. I don't know why I can't articulate today, but husband and wife. A lot of people nowadays don't have their parents who are together or their grandparents who are together and things like that. And then finally, we have molt. It is time to shed the constriction costume you have been wearing and let your weirdest, freakiest, uncensored self out into the open. Okay, not you freaked out, Power One. Oh my goodness. Because when they said freaky self, I saw that Ace of Wands again. What old identities no longer make sense for you to squeeze into? What can be shed like an ill-fitting skin for you to move through the world more freely as your true, magnificent self? It is okay if the molting process feels ugly, messy, or downright uncomfortable and scary. Embrace the process and be ready to experience the pleasure of no longer hiding. Let your real self be seen by the world. So Spirit is saying, maybe all of your friends are single and you feel like, okay, I got to keep up with them. But deep in your heart of hearts, I want to come home to a warm bed and someone who I love, who will watch Netflix movies with me and we could just fall asleep in each other's arms and I could not shower for a few days and they'll still love me. Spirit is saying it's okay to let go of this past version of you that was maybe more carefree and known within the group as being the wild one and the single one. And to really want those traditional values if you align with that. This doesn't mean that you have to want to be married. It could just be that you're looking for your long-term partner, Pal One. Pile 1, that was your reading on what your path to union or marriage looks like with your future spouse or long-term partner. It was a pleasure to read for you. I hope it resonated, and have a good one. Pile 2, if you chose the Hierophant or the card in the thumbnail with the orange border, this is your reading on what your path to union or marriage looks like with your future spouse or long-term partner. Let's get into it. I will say, pile 2, I don't know why, but once I got started with your reading, these candles started going a little crazy. So I don't know if that's a sign just yet, but I thought it was real interesting. All right. Pile 2, messages for pile 2, Spirit. Thank you. That one came out already. You want that reversed or upright? They said upright. Okay, so the Queen of Pentacles did come out in pile 1. So if you felt called to pile 1 as well, there may be some messages for you there. Let's keep going. Messages for pile 2. What does their path to union or marriage look like, Spirit? Pile 2. What does pile 2's path to union or marriage look like, Spirit? Pile 2. Messages for pile 2, please, Spirit. Ooh, High Priestess, which is beautiful because the card that you felt called to, pile 2, is the divine counterpart to the High Priestess. It's the Hierophant. So we have both the masculine and the feminine energy presenting themselves within your intuition. What's pile 2's path to union or marriage look like, Spirit? What does their path to union or marriage look like, Spirit? Pile 2, messages for pile 2. Tell us more about their journey, Spirit. King of Swords. Okay. If you're someone who's attracted to men, looking for a husband, then I got immediately like muscle man. Like obviously he's got to be a muscle man. You see those biceps, but this might be someone who takes pride in their physical appearance. They might be a gym rat as well. What does pile 2's path to union or marriage look like? 7 of Swords. We got something avoidant. Somebody's avoidant or some avoidant tendency, or maybe you two are avoiding each other. Let's see. Someone's denying something or in denial. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, we got the 2 of Pentacles. Somebody's juggling. Yeah, indecisive. That's why they're denying. So, first impressions, I'm getting that you guys sort of come from different worlds. It's not necessarily financially, but when I think of the Queen of Pentacles versus the King of Swords, they just seem to come from different worlds, you know, but there's this union. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful message. There's this union intuitively between the two of you. So this message might resonate with those who identify as being twin flames, because already it sounds a little bit like a twin flame journey coming from different worlds. And then, of course, we had the female representation of intuitive energy, and we had the Hierophant. So I can't ignore that. But it's not that you come from different worlds, like one of you is rich, one of you is poor. It's not as extreme as that, but I'm just getting more so that your lives, like, they might be similar in certain ways, but the hobbies you have, there it is. The hobbies you have are not similar. Like, this is somebody who maybe goes to the gym. Spirit just said they LARP. Maybe they're into role play, Dungeons and Dragons player or something like that. Metal. I'm definitely seeing an image of like a very tall sort of Viking aesthetic buff guy, big beard, long hair, blonde hair. I don't know if that resonates for you. Likes to wear all black. Maybe they work in Hollywood, like in a technical capacity or something like that. I'm getting like a techie or someone who's maybe a mechanic. I'm getting a tradesman specifically because those are trades. I'm also getting that this is someone who maybe values using their hands versus like your soft life, like And again, these don't have to be gendered. That, what I just channeled, might have just been for a specific person, but you still might be someone who just values aesthetics. You value interiors, but in a certain way, those two go perfectly together. Because if they're a carpenter, for instance, and you are an interior designer, now you have someone who can build you custom furniture. It's that intuitive pairing in the sense that you guys just sort of fit like glue. Like your lives, they seem on different sides, but some way, somehow they just integrate so seamlessly, just like this intuition that's linking the two of you guys together. But let's keep going, because none of that is your path, right? And we want to know, what's the journey like? Okay. Upright. Oh, that's beautiful. So we have another synchronicity with Pile 1. So I would encourage Pile 2 viewers, definitely go check out Pile 1, because maybe you're in different stages of the timeline with one another. I'm getting some denial and even like juggling, like maybe specifically what Spirit's showing is like maybe there's a difference in timing for the two of you. Like one of you is ready to commit, and the other one keeps saying like they're not in that place, they're just looking for something casual. But the reality is, intuitively, you both know this is your person. You both know, like, nah, this is something special and this is something different. And one of you is trying to deny that, and Spirit is literally like, bitch, I'm showing you. They're saying this to me. They're like, bitch, I'm showing you the path. Go on the yellow brick road path. Why would you go down the dark road when I'm pointing to the light road right here? Why are you taking the long way? I'm telling you to take the short way. So I'm getting that someone could be stubborn and could be acting a little like avoidant or emotionally unavailable. That's not necessarily who they are. It's more so that's who they're being right now. And I'm also getting that this is based on a trust wound. Spirit just told me it's based on a trust wound, because like they feel this connection, but they feel like they felt it before or something like it before, or the last time that they connected with the person in this way, they broke up and they thought they would spend their life with this person. Some kind of story or narrative which is causing this person to take the long route to you, which is stupid. I'm sorry. I can I say that? I'm the tarot reader. I'm going to say it, because when I would watch tarot pick a cards, I probably would have liked if the tarot reader just acknowledged that my person is kind of a fucking idiot. I'm kidding. I know you love your person, Pile 2, even if you haven't met them yet. But sometimes they just be, you just want to, right? Comment down below if you ever had one of them moments where it's like, I love you, but I want to, why are you taking the long road? There's a little bit of stubbornness on their end and denial, avoidance on their end. See, look at that candle just burned out, confirmation. And on your end, you're getting a little frustrated with the timing, because you just want to start. You just know, once I get in there, once you open your heart to me in this Two of Cups and let me love you, you're never going to have to worry about being loved ever again. All right, let's get some more. So tell us more about Pile 2's path to union and marriage. Yeah, Pile 2. I didn't want to say it with the Two of Pentacles, with the juggling, but now I'm seeing the Three of Cups. I'm not saying this person is a cheater. In fact, I don't think they're cheating, but I don't think they're settling down or committing for a while. Their core belief system, at least at this point in time, is, I'm getting that it's both shot and also that they're just, see, bottom of the deck, Five of Wands. It says, a challenge you can resolve, withdraw from the drama of others, have patience with yourself and those around you. I'm getting that this person's belief system is simultaneously calling to them, and it's been shot, meaning like maybe a past romantic relationship or relationships they've seen growing up have made them doubtful and dubious with regard to love and what's possible. Maybe they've just never ever felt truly in love, and maybe they had partners who claimed to be in love with them, but they didn't feel that same intensity, so they decided to pull back and just remain on the surface. I'm getting that this person, at least when you first initially meet them, you guys connect, but they just, bruh, Spirit just said they keep having these hoes around them. I don't know how many curse words I can say on YouTube, but I'm past my 30 seconds. They're saying they always have these hoes around them. And hoes, in this case, is a gender neutral term. It's like they prefer the lightness of just surface level connections right now. But Spirit is saying they're going to have a change of heart, because that core belief is going to hit them, okay? And the core belief is they want someone to come home to at night. They kind of really want that. And they kind of really want stability as well, Paul, too. And they know none of these hoes, man, I always tell people this. I'm like, oh, you want like multiple partners, but you say you want love, but you can't commit. Yeah, that's what we've been circling around right now. Pile two, when you meet your future spouse, your future long-term partner, they're gonna have some commitment issues. You guys are both gonna know what the truth of this connection is, but they're gonna have a difficulty committing. And now I can see why this reading is sort of similar to pile one. It's a different energy, but it's a similar sort of energy. What was I saying? So commitment issues McGee over here. And what I was saying is, people will juggle. There's that Two of Pentacles coming up. They'll juggle this desire to have love and to feel deeply and earnestly loved, but their commitment issues. And what I always say to people like that is, at the end of the day, you can only have one person, at least at one time, you can only have one person pushing your wheelchair when you can't walk. So you better choose wisely. You might have hoes now because you're young. You might have all these people around you at all times. You might look at the person who's destined to be your spouse and go, oh, we come from different worlds. They like, the soft life. I like to get my hands dirty. We're different people. It's not going to work out. So I'll just stay in dilly-dally. But guess what? As much as they're having this dialogue about you, I don't see any of the hoes stepping up. I don't see any alignment with these people. It's like they're creating this Seven of Swords, right? They're creating this avoidance and this false narrative to delude themselves, even though they keep going back and forth within themselves about whether they should or should not honor this connection. And then the crazy part is you're over here talking about your future spouse like, we're totally different people. We're not similar enough. Our lives are having different journeys. But all these Three of Cups, all these mermaids, they not going to be in your life for the long haul either. So Spirit is saying with the Hierophant, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And Spirit is saying this person's going to have some deep lessons around romance, love, the kind of connections and the kind of romantic connection and relationships they're capable of having. Spirit is saying we're going to have to overhaul all of their beliefs with regards to romantic connections and stuff, because they done got the game fucked up. And that's so funny because I said that same thing in pile one. So that's another synchronicity. Pile two, we simply must get some more tarot cards for you, because like Spirit said, your future spouse got the game fucked up, and I can't leave you hanging like that, pile two. So let's take some more tarot cards. Spirit, give us the second act. Give us more to the story for pile two. What does their path to union or marriage with their future spouse or long-term partner look like? What is their path? Okay. Not I have the deck upside down. Spirit said to take it You want it upright or reversed? Spirit said take it reversed. The sun reversed. Okay, it's going to be a little dark and gloomy for a bit, pile 2. And I'm specifically getting that it's going to be frustrating at many different points. So this is the kind of journey that will require patience. When it's frustrating like that, the Spirit is saying this is your path to union in marriage, then that means it's going to require patience. And patience doesn't look like waiting around for them to get their shit together. Patience sometimes looks like walking away. I always tell people, like, let me use the crock pot for reference, or the slow cooker. When you put a piece of meat or a tender vegetable for my vegans or something like that in the slow cooker, you don't want to eat it after 5 minutes in the slow cooker. No, you want to let it stew and get to where it needs to be, and you want to have it when it's ready. I'll use another metaphor. When I go to a mango tree or an apple tree to pick the fruit, I don't choose the hardest, roughest apple or mango on the tree. No, I'm looking for the ripe fruit. So Spirit, what they're saying with regards to this patience, because this person is in the dark, refusing to illuminate and bring clarity and honor this love, Spirit is saying, don't pick that fruit until it's ready to eat. Don't keep trying to go back when it's not ready, not ready. You might be able to check their pulse sometimes, check in with them. Okay, not ready. I went to say hello again. Not ready. Oh, still got hoes around them. Not ready. Still won't get their shit together. Not ready. But then one of those times you check in, they're going to be ready. And guess what? When they're ready, they tend to move quickly. More messages for pile 2. What does their path to union and marriage look like with their future spouse? And honestly, Spirit, is it worth it? What does their path to union or marriage look like with their future spouse? Pile 2, please, Spirit. What does pile 2's path to union or marriage with their future spouse look like? Messages for pile 2, please, Spirit. Okay, now they're playing coy. You see how it's taking such a long time to get a card? That's because I'm clocking that T. Now they don't want to say no more. But open up. What was that? What was that? Queen of Wands. And that's the truth of how they see you. They find you deeply attractive to the point that it's like you have a gravitational energy about you to them, pile 2. And that's a big part as to why they're resisting, but it's also a big reason as to why they can't resist you at all. And Spirit is saying you, during your path to union or marriage, you maintain that attractive energy just by being yourself. And even if it looks like they're not drawn into that, they're always drawn into that. It's a constant for them. Oh, this is not an 18 plus reading. I cannot go there for you, pile 2, but I assure you there will be a time. There will be a time for that. Queen of Swords. Oh, what a beautiful reading. So they see you as the most attractive, or one of the most attractive people they've ever met, but they also see you as someone who knows their boundaries and has a lot of self-respect and a high self-worth. Clarify the sun reverse, please, Spirit. Which is beautiful. That's how you want to be seen by your future spouse. So Spirit is saying on your path to union and or marriage with them, they have, even if you don't know it, they have a very clear perspective. In a certain way, they're one of the only people that can really see you for who you truly are. And I suspect that's why this is so frustrating and meaningful for you, pile 1. And that's why it's like difficult not to be impatient. Come on now. Come on with it. We have the Emperor and the Hangman combined. Okay, so Spirit is saying what's in the dark right now is that Emperor energy, that masculine energy. Spirit is saying, remember we saw the Hierophant? I told you, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Spirit is saying, right now, their divine masculinity is all fucked up, okay? That's why, this is the thing. Performative masculinity is like, literally the energy of keeping that Three of Cups around. And that's not just for those who identify as being males. That's for all genders. You guys ever met that person where it's like they have to always be around like people who want to be with them in some way, shape, or form? Or those women where it's like they just always tell you, oh, he DM'd me, oh, he DM'd me, or they're always talking to someone, but they never ever seem truly interested. That is because that is, I don't want to say a perversion, but that's an imbalance in divine masculine energy. It's an imbalance depending on the gender of the person. If it's a female, it's an imbalance in divine feminine energy. If it's a male, it's an imbalance in divine masculine energy. But when you require that much validation, it's actually interesting because it's telling outwardly to everyone the opposite. When you see someone who's like, yeah, look at all these people who want me, but they're not engaging with people they actually want, none of it ever pans out to a real relationship. None of it ever pans out into like a genuine connection. And it's like, you're just doing this because you're bored. I wouldn't just talk to 85 different people I met on Tinder because I was bored. But they have a self-worth issue. They would. And so Spirit is saying, oh no, we're going to put them in that hanged man energy. We're going to flip them upside down, and we're not going to let them come out of this stagnancy in this hangman energy, in this darkness, until they can step into the light and honor their divine masculinity, honor their emperor energy, and be someone who is upstanding, who does what they say they're going to do, and who cares and nurtures others in a divinely masculine way. And this is confirmation, right? Because all of these cards are governed by archangels. Now, for the sun reversed, who's the archangel governing the sun reversed? And for the emperor, who's governing the emperor? Both of these are Archangel Uriel. So if you're not familiar with who Archangel Uriel is, I highly recommend looking up Archangel Uriel, and just go on Google and write, what does Archangel Uriel govern? And they'll tell you all about what Archangel Uriel is responsible for within the universe, within the pantheon of the Bible. You don't have to align with the beliefs again, but I do feel like with both of those cards, Archangel Uriel is probably resonating and wanting to be noticed because he's moving through some of your guys' lives, and he would like you to work with him. All right, let's clarify that Queen of Wands for pile 2. What does pile 2's path to marriage and union look like with their future spouse? So Spirit literally said, just in case I wasn't clear, this is another milestone moving forward with your future spouse. Once they find a way to unreverse this sun, which the way of doing that is having a shift in their perspective of divine masculinity. Once they're able to master divine masculinity, things will move forward. Clarify the Queen of Wands. Clarify the Queen of Wands upright. Tell us more about pile 2's path to union or marriage with their future spouse. Come on with it. Come on with it. King of Wands. Boom. Boom. Confirmation. Confirmation. For this pile, that is two freaking counterpart unions within this pile. So if you're a twin flame, if you identify with that journey, confirmation for you, twin flame. This person is your twin flame. Spirit is saying once they master that divine masculine energy, their self-worth, their ability to do what they say they're going to do, to be an upstanding individual, all of a sudden, boom, they show up. And what do they show up as? Your equal, your perfect divine counterpart. It would be crazy if the King of Swords came out right here, wouldn't it? And Spirit also said, because you got to mention it, Spirit said, and they're going to be as deeply attractive to you as you are to them. And honestly, it's getting a little spicy with you, pal 2, so I have to be mindful. But what I'm understanding from your pile is once it's on and it's never off, and you two ain't going to be able to keep your hands off of each other. So Spirit just told me from that might have a little shotgun wedding for those of you. So just be careful, wrap it up or put your birth control or something if you don't want no babies, because it could happen. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's another. Oh my God. Are you kidding? 3 divine counterparts within the freaking tarot deck for you, Paul, too? Confirmation. We got the High Priestess and the Hierophant. We have the Sun and the Moon, and we have the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands. That's your baby. That's your stink, okay? I don't care what it looks like right now. That's your stink, Paul, too. I don't care what hose is there. That's your stink. So the journey for you two, the path to union and marriage for you two is not quite finished until you acknowledge the moon. And what that means, Pal, too, is that you guys are going to come together. You're going to find each other as equals, which is beautiful after this journey with one another. But Spirit is saying from then, the only way to move forward into union or marriage with this person is this is going to bring up a lot of hidden emotions for you. A lot of things that you didn't have the time to process or you stuffed down. Pile 2, let me slow it down a little bit. Like, this has been a long journey, and it's a journey where you had a lot of frustration and you had to be patient. And to be quite honest, Spirit is saying you're going to wonder if you really want to try with this person. Are they just playing you? Are they just playing you so they could get you hooked again and then they really want to be single? Are they serious this time? Are they just juggling you and then they're going to play games? You're really like, I don't know if I want to undo my boundaries or my border. Not my boundaries. You always maintain your boundaries. Spirit is saying, do you want to open the gates to this person again? And you're going to have to really think about that for yourself internally before you're able to move forward in your path to union and marriage with them. And obviously, ultimately, you will arrive at the conclusion of really taking it seriously and trying with them, but they're going to have to come in very earnestly, apologize, and they're going to have to take accountability and show themselves as your equal, or else you're gonna stay Queen of Swords and you're not gonna let them come in. And that's what you're supposed to do, Paul 2. I'm proud of you for that. All right, Paul 2, that is your tarot cards on what your path to union or marriage looks like with your future spouse. Let's take some oracle cards for you. Let's get Spirit's advice and guidance, because they pissing me off, Paul 2. They really pissing me off. Already lovable. That's a message for both of you. Advice and guidance for Pile 2 about this path to union and marriage with their future spouse. Okay, Spirit said, take this one in my left hand. Rupture. Yeah, that one is related to that Queen of Swords clarified by the moon energy. And finally, okay, straight like that. Listen. Okay, Spirit said, give them a chance. Give them a chance. You got to give them a chance. Already lovable. Know this, you arrived here on this earth already lovable, whole, and complete. You do not need to earn or work hard for lovability. Imagine a soft pink, energetic orb of pure love encasing you in its infinite softness and tenderness, like the most comfortable blanket handmade by a person who loves you so, so much. Let the gentle energy of pure love work its way into the corners of yourself that feel unlovable or not good enough. Relax into this softness of compassion. Be gentle with yourself and always believe that you are already lovable. So Spirit is saying this is the antidote to both of the things you both are respectively wrestling with. But also Spirit is saying this is the piece that you need for this journey ahead. This is your key. You need to understand at all stages of the path to union and marriage with this person that you are already lovable. And thankfully, Paul, too, I do see that you arrive there with that Queen of Swords, but also Spirit is reminding you, because there will be tough times where you need to remind yourself of this. And then we have rupture. Sometimes a rupture occurs in our lives that completely breaks our hearts. Our expectations and hopes and dreams for a certain kind of future are shattered beyond repair, and there is no turning back to the old ways of being. It is okay to grieve. It is okay to feel the heartbreak. Sometimes a rupture breaks us open like a geode, revealing the brilliance of our being that we otherwise would have never known. We may break, but we also learn new ways to survive and mend ourselves back together into new shapes. So I'm getting for you, Paul, too, there may come a time where you're no contact with this person, or you like have a breakup, or you lose contact with this person, or it just hurts. You know, or you guys were dating and you have to go back to being friends or something like that. But Spirit is saying it is serving a higher purpose within this connection. And then we have listen. Pause for a moment and turn down the volume of your thoughts. Intentionally listen. Can you hear the secret underground river beneath your feet, whispering its knowledge to you, beckoning you to follow its hidden curves? Tune into the mysterious, subtle whispers that get lost in the cacophony of the outside world. It is only when we allow ourselves to be still that we receive vital clues about who we are, what we desire, and where we need to go next. Sometimes the most compelling messages from the universe speak very softly. Are you listening? So this card speaks to a need for grounding, and Spirit is saying we request that you ground. One, so that you can process the inner happenings of this connection and what it's wreaking on your nervous system, but also this will give you enough room and distance from everything in your life to trust your intuition and to align with your higher self. Pile 2, excuse me. Oh my goodness. Pile 2, that is your reading on your path to union or marriage with your future spouse or life partner and what it looks like. I hope it resonated for you. It was a pleasure to read for you, and have a good one. Pile 3, if you chose the card in the thumbnail with the pink border or the Magician, this is your reading on what your path to union or marriage looks like with your future spouse or long-term partner. Let's get into it. What's the T on Pile 3, Spirit? What's their path to union or marriage with their future spouse or long-term partner look like, Spirit? What's the T on Pile 3? What does their path to union or marriage look like with their future spouse, please, Spirit? Beautiful. Oh, double Magician. Okay. Okay, so this is a connection you're actively manifesting, Pile 3. That's beautiful. Oh, Spirit just told me they're actively manifesting each other. So that's a confirmation for you, Pile 3, already. Okay, let me take that one too. 3 of Cups. So this is a collaboration. You guys also might meet at a party or amongst friends, or Spirit just said a friend might introduce you. So if someone asks you to go on a blind date or says, I have a friend that I think you should meet, I want to set you up, Spirit is saying go for it. Or maybe they're not. Actually, let me get all the cards out, Pile 3, because Spirit might end up saying a friend set you up on a date and it's the worst date of your life, but then you run into your your future spouse. Could you imagine? What does Pile 3's path to union or marriage look like with their future spouse? I will say already, Pile 3, I'm not going to take 2, Spirit. Already, Pile 3, your path to union or marriage with your future spouse looks so much like cleaner and just concrete than the other 2 journeys have been. They've been like a little bit more emotionally labor intensive for Pile 2 and Pile 1. My goodness. Come on, let's get the rest of the story. Okay. Spirit, what does Pile 3's path to union or marriage look like What does pile three's path to union or marriage look like, Spirit? Come on. Now they're hiding. Spirit said, flip the deck. Okay. What is... Yup, as soon as I flip that deck, that's crazy. Two of Cups. That's beautiful. Okay. Spirit just like played a movie montage in my head. Like you go to a party and Spirit is showing me Scott Pilgrim versus the World, like the moment Scott meets Ramona Flowers. So maybe someone asked for confirmation or that's their favorite movie or something like that. Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Spirit is saying you meet each other at a party and it's just like a click immediately. So again, that is a much clearer storyline pile 3 than the other 2 piles have gotten. This is totally distinct from pile 1 and pile 2. Let's keep going. Okay, I have to acknowledge these. So we have the Hierophant reversed and we have the Hermit upright. Very interesting because in some ways the Hierophant and the Hermit are similar. They both have an underlying narrative of gaining spiritual knowledge, but in very different ways. So, oh, that's interesting. Maybe you two are mirroring each other in the sense, oh no, Spirit is saying you're not mirroring each other in these journeys because that Hierophant is reversed. Okay, one of you guys is having a crisis of faith, or maybe it's both of you guys having a crisis of faith. It could also be a crisis of faith with regards to what you two experienced when meeting in a communal setting or with friends or at that sort of party. Because someone is going hermit mode. Someone is searching for answers within themselves. It could also be like one of you guys is like dropping out of college or dropping out of school, maybe dropping out of your master's program. One of you is moving out of the country. It could be that one of you guys is like defecting from your religion. Sorry, not defecting, deconstructing from your religion. And this is causing you to go within yourself in order to seek answers instead of the previous institution or system that you got your answers from. It could also be as simple, especially if this is resonating for someone who's sort of college age or just like a transition aged person. It could also just be that you're kind of not taking not that you don't believe in your parents, but it's just like you no longer see your parents as like they have all the answers, like they're the people with all the answers, and you're finding yourself. Yes, that's what Spirit's pointing to. Actually, I now see this as a message for both of you are on a journey where it's a journey of introspection and self-discovery, which is causing you to have your faith shaken and question all of your belief systems and belief structures, which is scary but beautiful. Pile 3. I'm not going to take all of these, Spirit. Come on. What does pile 3's path to union or marriage look like with their future spouse? Path to union or marriage look like with their future spouse, please, Spirit. Golly. Okay, Spirit said take both of these. Strength reversed or upright. I'm not going to take it sideways, Spirit. Come on. It's time to be clear, Spirit. Okay. Okay, Spirit said take it reversed. Okay, so one of you guys is feeling a little bit weak. Oh my goodness. Okay, I see. There's a lack of self-worth and self-confidence, and I'm getting that from the divine feminine perspective, which I'm taking as you, pile 3, not because you're a female, but typically in spiritual connections, the divine feminine energy is the one that seeks out knowledge and has some more intuitive awareness, such as, wanting to look at tarot readings and things like that. They're awakened in that way. So that's why I'm taking the Empress in reverse to mean you. So it seems like you're not just having this crisis of faith. And oh, okay, Spirit just told me it's not just a crisis of faith. When you meet this person, you might be battling with some depression as well. Pile 3, you might be struggling with depression, and that's why you have this lack of self-confidence and self-worth when you meet this person. Let's take more cards. Tell me more about Pile 3's path to union or marriage. Okay, and they're presenting as the Emperor. So we do have counterparts on the board now. So this can be confirmation if you feel like you're on a twin flame journey. For someone that's not going to resonate with all of you, but that is confirmation. Emperor and Empress entered the chat. Spirit is saying there is a mismatch with you guys in terms of energy, in the sense that you guys are equals, right? You're both represented as divine counterparts, but where their emperor is upright and they're balanced in their divine masculine energy and they're confident and they're self-assured, you're the opposite right now. And Spirit confirmed that doubly with the strength in reverse, because Spirit is saying you're in a weakened state, you're not at your most resilient, and perhaps you're also very stubborn at this point in time. Like, I hesitate to say it, but for some of you, maybe you're keeping yourself in a depressed energy. And isn't this crazy, Paul 3? All major arcanas for the most part within your reading. So this is a very pivotal time in your life as well. And I think Spirit is saying this person, they come in at a pivotal time in your life, but they also serve to make this an even more pivotal time in your life, because you were already reckoning with these kind of questions in your emotional state, and now it's like the one just came in, and on the one hand, it feels like they're the answer. On the other hand, you never expected to meet your person while your life is pretty much in shambles internally. So that might feel like a lot of pressure for you, Pile 3. Let's keep going. Come on, Spirit. What does Pile 3's path to union or marriage look like? 3 of Wands. So Spirit is saying no matter what's true is, no matter what state you're in, that you're coming from, Spirit is saying it's time to take the next step with them. So pretty much once you meet this person, they're stable. You might be a little unstable within yourself, but they're reliable. And Spirit is saying you end up moving forward with them. So you guys will start to date, it will get out of the talking stages, and you will move forward into a relationship with them just to get started. Remember, this is your road to union or marriage. So I think Spirit is saying the journey to marriage, or that major like life long-term commitment, not just the early stages of dating with them. And the bottom of the deck energy is the King of Swords. The King of Wands reversed. The King of Wands can be a player energy or someone who's a little bit manipulative. They're a little dodgy. So to see this in reverse, that tells me that this person is, they're ready for commitment. And you might be a little shaky, but you will meet them there at commitment. Spirit is saying with that 3 of Pentacles that even if it doesn't feel like everything is perfect, you still take that leap of faith and move forward anyway. Pile 3, let's take some more tarot cards for you. Let's really get into the story. Spirit, tell me more. Okay, spoilers. What was that? The Tower. Spirit, tell me more about Pile 3's path to union and marriage. We'd love to get some timing as well. Okay, there's the Emperor again. Okay. Messages for Pile 3 about their path to union or marriage with their future spouse. The Wheel reversed. Okay. Okay, so already we have to acknowledge, 9 of Pentacles. I'm so sorry for all the noise, Pile 3. This always happens, Pile 3, and it's particularly noisy, but I hope that you can still get the messages today. I'd prefer to show up for you guys and be consistent rather than to have perfect circumstances. So Spirit is saying with this wheel reversed, first off, this is not a karmic connection. That's the second confirmation that I saw, that this is going to be, okay, yeah, double confirmation here. This is going to be a stable non-karmic relationship for you, and that's going to test you, because you're going to be tempted to not block your blessings, but to take yourself out of alignment. When I see this wheel in reverse, this fate in reverse, that tells me someone's taking themselves out of alignment. And then I see the 9 of Pentacles upright, which has the feminine energy, that divine feminine energy that I just mentioned was a symbol for you. It is telling me that, like, these are your dreams fulfilled, but there's some part of you that wants to be single, that wants to go. All of a sudden, oh my goodness, confirmation. We have 2 candles in the exact same position that have burnt out. So that's crazy. You're going to be tempted to flee. This is definitely giving that energy of, like, you know, when you experience your first healthy relationship with no toxicity, and then you feel like, oh, I'm bored. Clarify the Emperor upright, please, Spirit. Clarify the Emperor upright. Clarify the Emperor upright, please, Spirit. Tell us more about Pile 3's path to union and marriage. What does it look like for Pile 3's path to union and marriage? Clarify the Emperor upright, please, Spirit. Okay. We have the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, so Spirit is doubling down on the fact that they're going to provide the ultimate stability and comfort. This is someone that you're not going to have to doubt their intentions, their desires for you. Clarify the wheel reversed, please, Spirit, for Pile 3. Clarify the wheel reversed. What does their path to union or marriage look like? So in this Pile 3, I'm getting that you're the one that has some doubts, and you did move forward with them, but maybe even though you've moved forward with them, you guys might break up for a little bit, because you're still on that path of self-discovery and you need to find out what makes you happy. So you're a little bit out of alignment with this connection, or you're specifically taking yourself out of alignment. Pile 3. Clarify the wheel reversed. Messages for Pile 3. Clarify the wheel reverse, please, Spirit. Clarify the wheel reverse. 4 of Swords upright. So Spirit is calling you to do some deep resting. And it's interesting because I mentioned you might be struggling with depression, Pile 3. And Jim Carrey has a famous quote where he says he realized that depressed means his body needed deep rest from this mask it's been carrying and holding up. Jesus, that is distracting. He needs deep rest from this mask that he has been forcing himself to hold up. So I'm getting the reason that the Empress is in reverse for you, Pile 3, is because maybe you haven't fully found yourself yet, or you're trying to figure out the truth of who you are and how to present yourself authentically to people around you and to experience being seen. And this person will always make you feel seen. They always truly see you, but you'll struggle with doubt because you don't fully see yourself just yet. So Spirit is calling you to take a rest. Don't self-isolate, but find a way to self-soothe and find a way to heal yourself through resting, not by doing more, being more, and like being known for more. Spirit is saying this person will make it so that you never feel that you have to perform to be seen by them. And also you're going to learn the truth of the reality that you don't have to perform to be seen. That's probably a big core wound for you, Pile 3. Clarify the 9 of Pentacles upright, Spirit. Okay, got a lot of energy on that card. Woo, come on. Clarify the 9 of Pentacles upright, please, Spirit. Clarify that. What the heck? Have I only been reading for you for 9 minutes? Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so Spirit is saying this connection is going to move slowly. It's going to take some time for you to return to them, Pile 3, but you will return. All right, pile 3, those are your tarot cards on what your path to union and marriage looks like, pile 3. My camera is showing that I've only been reading for you for 10 minutes, but I swear it's been more. If it's only been 10 minutes, I'm so sorry, pile 3, for the short reading. But it was my intention to do shorter readings today anyways. And also, pile 3, your reading has had the most chaos simultaneously, and it's also had the clearest journey. So I think you should always know that I never skimp on a reading. So I think I've hit all of the beats that Spirit wanted me to hit to deliver the message for you today. But I haven't taken your oracle cards just yet. So we simply must get Spirit's advice and guidance for what your path to union and or marriage looks like, pile 3. Advice and guidance. Release. Yes, this is coming down to that four of swords energy. Spirit is calling you to rest and release. What else? Advice and guidance for pile 3 on their path to union or marriage, Spirit. Advice and guidance for pile 3 on their path to union or marriage. Leap of faith. They're going to request that you take a leap of faith and just trust this person and understand that they will keep you safe and they're going to be trustworthy and reliable and they won't let you down or disappoint you. And then we have crush. Okay, let's get into them, pile 3. It says, release. Imagine the old stories of your past as heavy, jagged boulders take up space within your body. Imagine you're suspended over an abyss, anchored on both ends by strong, loving hands. As you deeply inhale into your belly, you're summoning gratitude for what the past has taught you. As you exhale, you allow the past to be released out of your body. With every inhale and exhale, the heavy black boulders tumble out of your heart and stomach and guts and into the darkness below. Can you feel the new lightness of your being? So there's a couple messages here. This is what Spirit is calling you to do for one, pile 3. But Spirit is also saying this person's presence, the comfort that they bring to you is going to help aid you and provide that sense of release, but not just release, relief for you at the end of this process of releasing. So Spirit is encouraging you to not continue to let your past weigh you down, especially not to keep you from your ultimate path to union and marriage with your person, the one. Let's take these last 2 oracle cards before my camera dies again. So it says, it is time to bet big on yourself. If not now, then when? We wake up to our most vibrant aliveness when we believe in ourselves and take action from a place of affirmation and abundance rather than a fearful place of not wanting to make any mistakes or appear foolish. Yes, there's a perfectionist energy as well with regards to how you want to pursue this connection. And I think you feel a little bit... there's that word again, a little bit deficient in the sense that like you can't always meet this person at the wholeness that they're at because you're reconciling with your mental health and the deconstruction of your beliefs. The real fool is the one who never experiences the exhilaration of taking risks and living grandly beyond the comforts of what is expected and safe. Listen to the dancing flame burning brightly in the center of your heart that whispers yes. It is so crazy, my babes. Like, literally, as I was reading that card, I started looking at this flame because I was like, wow, that flame is so transfixing. So it's like another confirmation that card said that. What I'm getting with this leap of faith card is your confidence restoring. This person also helping you to restore this confidence and this belief that you are capable and you can create new experiences and the future doesn't have to look like how the past looked like for you. Pile 3, maybe you had a traumatic upbringing. upbringing or a traumatic background, something that happened. But Spirit is saying you're going to pull through, and this person will be a support system for that as well. Someone who's a reliable support system. Guys, and the alarm had to go off. Oh my goodness, this reading feels a little cursed. Final card for you, Pile 3, Crush. What is giving you big heart eyes right now? A crush does not always have to be a romantic desire or even a person. You can have a crush on a song, a place, a work of art, a movement, a flower, the ocean, a vision of new possibilities. You can have an all-encompassing crush on yourself, your friends, the universe. It is okay to indulge in ooey-gooey feelings that make your heart squishy soft like cookie dough. Have a crush on the universe, and the universe will most definitely crush on you too. So Pile 3, I'm getting with that card that Spirit is, their advice for you is to try to find a glimmer of the positive within your life. Spirit is sort of just saying, fall in love with one thing per day. If you can fall in love with one thing per day, overall, the quality of your life will get better. And Spirit would like to see you romanticize daily life a lot more, because that will have a contributing effect on your mental health. Pile 3, that is your reading on what your path to union or marriage looks like between you and your future spouse or long-term partner. I hope the messages resonated. It was a pleasure to read for you, and I hope you have a good one. Thanks for watching today's reading on what your path to union and or marriage looks like between you and your future spouse or long-term partner. It was a pleasure to read for you today, as it always is. And tap in with me. Join the Cosmo Collective by liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing to this channel and these readings. As you all know, we have fresh tarot insights weekly, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if no one told you today, or no one ever told you, I love you to the moon and back. Bye.